bring back football. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with yet another video of the Arizona Sports Fan. Thank you so very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Every single one of you new subscribers and old subscribers. Guys, our season thus far of the Arizona Cardinals has been, can I say, not expected. Right now we're currently sitting 3-7-1, and I was just expecting a little bit more from the Arizona Cardinals, to be honest with you. We have 5 more games going on within the season, so anything can basically go. We can, end the season off 8-7-1 for all we know, but I don't know. The way we're playing doesn't really seem we're going in that route, especially because the way the defense is mainly playing. But this is our bye week going on right now, and I'm having some hard time, finding content to go ahead and talk about, because today is usually the day I post my preview game as far as the game that's going to be happening on Sunday, but it's not going to happen because obviously there's not a game for the Arizona Cardinals until next week. But on the Arizona sports news, we do have 2 games that are today. Phoenix Suns are back in action. They're playing against the New Orleans Pelicans, and it's going to be 8:30 p.m. today. The Suns kind of slid down just a little bit. They were starting off pretty hot, but I think the injury to Ricky Rubio really affected them. So right now they're sitting 7-6, but they're going to be playing the Pelicans, which is 5-9. I really do hope they can go ahead and come out with the win this time, because they need to come back in that W and get a W from this game and keep it going. But another game that I'm actually really excited to see, and I probably will have more focus on this one here, is going to be the Arizona Coyotes versus the the Toronto Maple Leafs. That one is going to be at 7 p.m. tonight as well. Right now the Arizona Coyotes are running hot. Like they're doing so well right now. We just ended a game against Calgary, I believe was the last game we played, and we it wasn't against Calgary, but it was against the Kings, and we ended up shutting them out here as well. So we're doing really good on the Coyote side as well, so let's go ahead and keep that going. For that LA game, we did shut them out 3-0, as well as the Calgary Flames, which is the game before, which is also 3-0. So let's keep that momentum going, guys. But what I wanted to go ahead and do today is I wanted to go ahead and talk about my top 3 most sought out prospects that we can benefit from having this coming off season. We're not doing mock drafts quite yet, but we just want to focus on the top 3 that I think is going to be the most important ones to go ahead and look forward to, guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, guys, so like I promised, we're going to go ahead and talk about the top 3 prospects that I feel like we should keep our eyes on, and obviously it really depends on the draft order and where we land in this coming off season. With the way we're going right now, I could probably foresee us get maybe a couple more wins for the season, but honestly, the defense isn't really giving me very optimism to keep in any game. I feel like we have to have like a 30-plus game every single game to have any chance of winning, especially with the defense that we have currently right now. But the top 3 prospects I am looking out for that, of course, I want to get this coming draft. Now, this is not any specific order. I'm going to go ahead and try to keep the suspense going and start from the top down. So my top 3 right now, that's something that we should definitely take a look into, is cornerback from Ohio State, Jeffrey Okudah. So this guy is sought out to be one of the best cornerbacks in the draft this coming NFL 2020 draft night. So I'm looking into the cornerbacks position. Now, I do understand that we just got Byron Murphy last year, but something's a brewing, man. Something's a brewing, I feel like, with Patrick Peterson right now. I feel like he's doing everything he possibly can to get out of the Arizona Cardinals, whether he's not playing full potential, whether he's just kind of giving up on plays, or whatever the situation might be. I just do not see a future with Patrick Peterson going forward. So I do feel like Jeffrey Okudah would be a pretty awesome asset to add to the Arizona Cardinals DB position. I just feel like that's something that we got to go ahead and look out for. Number 2, I want to go ahead and say Andrew Thomas, which is a O-line from Georgia. He's 6'5", 320 pounds. This guy has some quick feet. I've seen some games from him in Georgia, and honestly, he looks like he's ready to go. I feel like he's a plug-and-play player. If we do go ahead and get him, we can put him on offensive line. He can produce right away. I have no doubt in my mind that I think they will re-sign DJ Humphries that we received also in the draft, a few years back. I think we will re-sign him just because there is lack of talent in the O-line in free agency this coming year, and I feel like that would be the good opportunity to sign in left tackle that we have in DJ Humphries. But honestly, signing Andrew Thomas would be a really, really good asset, especially to go ahead and protect Kyler Murray back there. I have seen some occasions where our offensive line breaks, whether it's communication, whether it's just lack of talent. I do think that our offensive line is holding pretty well, not strong, but pretty well for what we have going on right now. I think they're hurdling pretty well, but I honestly do want more depth. I want bigger guys on there, just on the offensive line in general, and always having depth is good. This is one of the first years that I have noticed that we have not had many injuries in the offensive line, which is really weird to me because I feel like we're like plagued with offensive line injuries. And of course, DJ Humphries, being his contract year, he's going to do everything he possibly can to stay healthy so he can get a big contract next year. But I just hope that if we do pay him, he doesn't get hurt that first year. I just feel like we're cursed that way, but let's keep our fingers crossed that doesn't happen. But number 2 is going to be Andrew Thomas, offensive tackle. Now, number 1, in my opinion here, we should go ahead and try to get Chase Young. He is the number 1 sought-out prospect throughout the entire NFL 2020 draft, and Chase Young is a talent like nobody has seen before. They're even saying that he's better than Joey Bosa out there and Myles Garrett. So just to think that right there is some dominance that, we can go ahead and think, like, how awesome would it be to get this prospect? Now, honestly, to get him, I feel like we need to be in the top 2, top 3, which I do not see us happening. I think we're going to land around the 6, 5, or 4 spot, to be completely honest with you. And I feel like we're just going to be just out of reach for us. Unless something happens where, everybody's trying to draft up to get some quarterbacks like the Herberts, the Froms, the Tuas. I know he's hurt right now, but him, and then also Burrow from LSU. Unless everybody's trying to move up to get some quarterbacks, which is definitely a possibility. I've seen it before, but I feel like Chase Young is just going to be just below our reach, and he's just going to be taken so high that I just don't feel like we're going to get there unless we get some sort of spectacular move to move up. But moving up 2 spots and giving up a lot of draft capital is just not something that I can see us doing at the time being. But those are my 3 top prospects that I want to be looking for here is the cornerback, the offensive tackle, and the D-line. My most 2 important things, defensive line and offensive line are my main 2 things of concern right now. But how awesome would that be to have Chandler Jones, riding out the rest of his career that he has with us, and he's still looking pretty damn awesome. And then have Chase Young on the opposite side of him. We're gonna have an awesome D-line if that does happen, but we'll go ahead and see once the season plays out, guys. We have 5 more games going on, so we'll see what happens, guys. That's all I got for this episode, guys. Thank you so very much. I'm out. Thank you.